Hello there, my name is Victor Oguyinka, and you're welcome to the midweek edition of Today in the News, and of course all of those newspapers across the Federation, and looking at the major headlines everywhere.
Over 1,000 people are benefiting from free medical services provided by the FCT chapter.
Somebody Arsenal fans will be very interested in this news. Arsenal's first club transfer record signs Pep.
Good morning, viewers. You're welcome to Vanguard Live. That's a beautiful Thursday morning, and this is your morning program. Today in the news, here we'll give and read in-depth analysis on the stories making waves across the Nigeria. And I'm Damlola Obaseki, and I'm with my lovely co-host,
Precious Chukudi.
Precious. How are you?
Fine, it's just that the weather yesterday wasn't good, like at night.
And since last week we've actually been talking about the weather, that it's been calm. And all of a sudden today, yesterday night was just terrible.
The heat was much. I couldn't even get good sleep. So
Was it only last night? You didn't experience it this morning?
last night's show this morning was not even funny at all.
Okay, away from that, let's go straight to the paper review, and let's start with the front page of Vanguard. APC in turmoil as court suspends Oshiomhole. Police seal off party secretariats. Oshiomhole fights for stay of execution. APC pledges to respect order. Obaseki hails court order. Ajimobi named a deputy chairman. Bulama upstages Giadom as an acting secretary. And you can see more of that on page 5. And moving on to page 40, power outage cripples activities at Lagos International Airport. Governor Akeredolu signs Amotekun bill into law. Details can be found on page 11. I think people will be happy about that. And on page 13, protests in Kano over alleged blasphemy against Prophet Muhammad. Also on page 10, Gowon latches out as successors over Mambila power projects. Governors, senators, reps, state lawmakers, others attacked by youth in Jigawa. You can find more of that on page 30. And moving on to the stories above the nameplates. Coronavirus COVID-19, federal government may review 2020 budget. Finance minister is saying this, why we can't release index case now. This is coming from Lagos state government, and you can see more of these on page 10. US restates a $7 million bounty on Shekau. Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists who killed 3 soldiers and 3 policemen, and details can be found on page 10. Kano Assembly begins fresh probe of Emir Sanusi, and you can see that on page 13. And lastly, let's look at the Naira watch as Naira depreciates to 366.31 Naira in the I&E window, and you can see more of that on page 41. And from there we go straight to the Punch.
And on the Punch newspaper, we have major headlines. Governors plans next meeting to replace Oshiomhole as court suspends APC chair. Court orders police, DSS to block ex-governor from accessing office. Oshiomhole NWC appoints Ajimobi. Others party national officers. Suspended chair about to create chaos. Chairman Northeast says. There's also a photo story of students in the class at a government-run high school in Secondabara, India, wearing their nose masks and reading together. Also, we have the World Bank Group president showing in front page of the Punch newspaper. Away from that, we move to on page 4 and 5. A family tackles maritime firm over captain's death, demands probe. And on page 10, we have senators kick as Adeyemi condemns democracy and hails military rule. And lastly, on the Punch newspaper, we have Buhari, Jonathan, Atiku, others eulogize Obasanjo at 83. You can find more on that story on page 21 of the Punch newspaper. And away from the Punch, we move to Daily Trust.
And on the front page of Daily Trust, APC crisis deepens as court suspends Oshiomhole. Party appoints Ajimobi as deputy chair. And you can find more on the front page of Daily Trust, and it continues on page 5. And moving on to other stories, why Nigeria is losing cocoa wells. More of that is on page 27. Coronavirus, federal government mulls and 2020 budget review. The Senate proposes 20-year jail term for electoral offenders. Details can be found on page 41. And lastly, on the front page of Daily Trust, fresh trouble for Emir Sanusi as Kano Assembly opens probe. Details can be found on page 3. And from Daily Trust, we go straight to The Guardian.
And on The Guardian, we have major headlines. Government may review 2020 budget over coronavirus. Vaccine underway as global economy loses $50 billion. Who urges the production of more protective items. Senate laments poor preparation against virus in Abuja. Repent, seek forgiveness, GNI tells public. You can find more on that story on page 4 and 29 of the Guardian newspaper. And on the page 12 of Guardian, we have a gunman kills 2 policemen, civilian at Delta nightclub. And we also have on page 14 and 15, Oshiomhole vows to remain APC chair despite sacking Alda. And on page 3, we have Rep. OK's 346 billion naira budget for NDDC, vows tighter oversight. And a very interesting one on the Guardian, that's page 5. US restates $7 million bounty for information on Boko Haram leader Shekau. And lastly, on the Guardian newspaper, we have Buhari appoints Jamal to replace Peter Said as Nimasa's DG. You can see more on that story on page 46 of the Guardian newspaper. Away from the Guardian, we move to The Nation.
And on the front page of The Nation, COVID-19 review of 2020 budget likely, says federal government. NCDC gets 935 million naira to battle virus. United States testing a who's drug. Lawan decries Abuja centers. And you can find more of that on page 8. Boko Haram sweeps on Borno State, and US places $7 million bounty on the Abubakar Shekau. And on another page, we have an NDLEA seizes 1,360 rounds of live ammunition on the Bauchi Jos highway. Suspects, we need to sell them to feed our families. Really? And moving on to the stories about the nameplates, Mofa firm rearranged over 33 billion naira fraud. Suspects get $100 million bail, 100 million naira bail rather, and you can find more of that on page 4. Buhari, Obasanjo committed to nationhood. Ex-president turns 83, and details can be found on page 42. And lastly, on the front page of The Nation, Oshiomhole asks appeal court to vacate a suspension order. Police DSS at APC Secretariat. Party appoints Ajimobi, Bulama, and Chukuma, and details can be found on page 41. And that is all we have on the review for this morning of the papers. But after the break, we'll be coming back to analyze. And to analyze this with us, we have a guest in the studio, and we'll be looking more into this. So don't go anywhere. Join us. But while we are on the break, you can follow us on our social media platforms and visit our website www.vanguardngr.com. And don't forget also that you can join the conversation by leaving your opinion and your thoughts in the comment section. So stay with us, we'll be back.
الحمد لله الذي جعل الجهاد عبادة وجعله لعباده من أعظم الإبادة والصلاة والسلام على من قال وجعل رزقي تحت ظل رمحه وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ni ne bi iznillahi ta'ala shugaba na wannan jama'a mai yi wa wannan addinin musulunci aiki kamar yadda Allah ya so ya yarda, haka muke fata Allah ya bamu. Wato Imam Abu Muhammad Abu Bakr bin Muhammadin Shakawi, imamu jama'ati ahli sunna lidda'awati wal jihad. Wannan sako bi iznillahi ta'ala sako ne a ranar 18 ranar Alhamis.
Alright, welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Today in the News. Here we'll read and give in-depth analysis on the stories on the newspapers across Nigeria. And we've reviewed some of the papers. We've reviewed the story of the Vanguard, the Guardian, Daily Trust, and the Nation. And right now we're going to the analysis segment, and we have a guest with us in the studio. As you all know, we call him the strong man, Ikechukwu Agada, a public affairs analyst. Mr. Ikechukwu, you're welcome. You know, anytime I call you the strong man, you always smile, and I think that's the smile that we want to see. You know, to start a good morning, you need a smile and all that. Before we go straight to the stories, some of the stories are making waves. So we'll be starting with this story on the front page of Vanguard, which is APC in turmoil as court suspend Oshiomhole. When you saw the story yesterday, what's your reaction? How did you feel when you saw this?
Okay, I think I got the information around something in the afternoon. I was going somewhere immediately, it just flashed. It was AIT that broke the news and all this thing. So it was like something that had been long expected. Oshiomhole, his game is up, because if you check, he had already been suspended from his ward. So constitutionally, he has been out of office already from his ward, because in the setting of Nigerian constitution, you start from ward, then graduate. So no matter who you are, you go and register in your ward, then from ward, local government, from local government.
You know, we've been hearing some internal conflicts for some time.
Yes, he has been having wrangling issues from state to state with his governor and so many other people. So it's not a surprise to me.
But the question people are asking is that, does this mean that the party don't have an internal democracy?
If there's no party in Nigeria that has total internal democracy, because you check, because the democracy that Nigeria is practicing is not true federalism, total democracy. If not, courts wouldn't have been deciding who becomes this and all those things. These are shortfalls in a democratic dispensation that Nigeria parades or mouths that she's practicing. So the internal democracy is not in the party. That is why they cannot totally suspend him unless they convoke the National Executive this thing. So what happened to Oshiomhole yesterday was 2023 politics at its peak that played out. Understand? So it's long expected. I'd expected this for long time ago. He has been having issues with his governor from state to state. Everybody is pointing accusing fingers at Oshiomhole, and they know Oshiomhole is representing a godfather who has interest in 2023. So Oshiomhole is a candidate of, or is like a boy of one of the candidates. So the other parties will not like Oshiomhole to be there because of 2023. So what played out yesterday was 2023 already brought forward in 2020.
Okay.
Yes.
So can we say that the APC party is divided as a result of what's going on right now? You know, because there are reports that, you know, before now we've been seeing it in the papers about the fact that some of the members of the APC have been saying, we want Oshiomhole out, you know, and some people say, you know, want him in, you know, and then now the party members are saying, or the leaders are basically saying that we cannot, you know, disobey court order. We'll go with it. Is it not something that is supposed to be contestable by them?
No, basically, the state, what I was, immediately I heard it, I did not say anything. I told some of my friends that I'm just waiting for the party's position. Why? Because the party's position speaks volume of the presidential backing. So whatever the party says will be final. How do I mean? When he was suspended as what they still, he still remained. Understand? Because he still had power and influence. So, but immediately the party say we respect court order, it means he has been summarized.
Which means that there's a larger, you know, faction of the house.
There's a larger faction of the house, larger, strong caucus that is against his continuous stay as the chairman of the district, and those people succeeded. They had been scheming long time ago on way to remove him, but he has been dodging, working on banana peels, working on, but finally, this.
Okay, some of the reports that came from this whole Oshiomhole, you know, before now on the papers were that some of the people, that some of the members of the party were calling for his, you know, for his suspension because some of the states where they expect that APC would, you know, dominate, they have lost those states. Do you think that that should be enough reason for them to, you know, say they don't want him anymore because he's no longer proven to be, you know, the chairman of the party?
Yeah, very, very good reason. Even before Oshiomhole was there, John Diego was there. I think they had more internal democracy and cohesion in APC when John was there. Immediately, Adams Oshiomhole said, saying, Adams Oshiomhole is arrogant, he talks arrogantly, he talks disunitedly. As a statesman, there are ways to make statements. You remember the statement he made during the David Lyons? He said he will not be there. So all those things sparks. He has, in fact, many APC chieftains have accused him of causing division in almost all the states of the district, coupled with the fact that he's fighting with his godson, political godson, who is the governor. And they fight, understand, they are washing their dirty linen in the public, which is not supposed. As a national chairman of the party, you are like a father to all your party chieftains, including the president. You are only reporting or submissive to only the president. So you should be seen as a statesman and not the person. Okay, the other day he landed at Benin Airport and he was good, and they were stoning him, if not because of the intervention of policemen. So he has long.
But does the courts, do they have the order? Do they have the right to suspend him as the APC chair?
Yes,
because according to someone said that it's the National Working Committee that have that right, you know, to suspend the chair and also to replace him.
Okay.
And you know, all the stories now we've been talking about it, that they've suspended him and these APC courts they've suspended. So people are asking, do they really have the right?
Okay, the way party structure works, we have two dominant parties, PDP and APC. There's what we call internal organ of the party. First of all, the National Working Committee reports to the National Executive Committee of the party, that's NEC. Now, the governors and the president, vice president, they are members of NEC. Before then, they will have what we call the national caucus of the party. That national caucus is under the NEC. The NEC is the mother body of every party. So NEC are being controlled by the governors and others, and the governors had long did not want Oshiomhole. So his game was up already. So the governors now, they are convoking the National Executive that will ratify the decision of the court.
But Osage now, Osage is saying, former Wayfair, is saying that the court has succumbed to the pressure of Obaseki and friends.
Yes, I agree with that because
I know we've been seeing the stories of Obaseki and Oshiomhole having issues on papers and news all day.
You know why the court, they will win in the end? Because the people that went to the court are from, most of them are from his ward where he was suspended. So they have legal ground, they have legitimate reason for the court. The court that even suspended him is in Abuja.
But the question is that, isn't that if we don't like someone, like for example the president, if you don't like someone, can you just go straight and tell the court that I don't like this person, remove the person? Because this is like something that is
that is out. The 40 constitution or the constitutional democracy in Nigeria is opposite. In fact, I've been telling my friends, I told them that in 2023, don't be surprised. You see, like so many people will just come out. Somebody will just come after the election. The person may be even the 10th or something. The person will go to court and use court and come out. So there are so many ways of winning election in Nigeria. I may not even contest. Understand? I will go to court and win election. So in Nigeria, anything is possible. Nigeria's democracy is faulty. We are not practicing true federalism. That is why some of these things are coming out. Understand? So whether you want it or not, the court has spoken. And APC said they will abide by the court's law. So the only thing is that the NEC that has been convoked will now ratify the decision carried out by the court, and the Oshiomhole's fate is sealed.
Okay, just as his suspension was named, they've nominated Bulama as people that will take over from him and represent him. And we have some paper reports saying that APC now, they don't have a leader, and but they also have people questioning that is it not too early, or have these plans been in place before that once they leave, this is the person that will be nominated, and this is the person that will be nominated as the vice chair, and all that. What's your talk?
The plan has been in the cooler, so it has been hatched. They are waiting for the appropriate time and how to carry it out. So immediately the thing took place, you discovered that some people were named. The person that was acting was from Rivers State, one of her mates. So immediately Bulama was replaced, and Senator Biola Jimobi from Oyo State, former governor of Oyo, was named national deputy chairman. You can see the geographical arrangement is already taking shape. Now, NEC will sit. NEC is the highest governing body of PDP and APC. NEC, before then, the National Caucus will have meeting before NEC. National Caucus are influential members of the party. Then we now report at the next meeting. So NEC will now just choose who will be the national chairman. Know it that they don't just choose it, they choose it based on the political zone, based on 2023 calculation. So they will, since they picked Abiola Jimobi from Yoruba land and Bulama, depending, because they don't say north, they say the geopolitical zone from where it's, yes. Or we have northwest, northeast. So an Igbo man Chukuma too is there. So the 2023 atmosphere is becoming clearer on who will succeed. A camp opposed to Oshiomhole's seems to be winning.
All these things now, you're saying that it's because of the 2023
calculation.
All right, let's take some people's comments on our page, and this is from Pastor Kevin Okito, and he says that Oshiomhole must go for Obaseki to continue his good work. What do you think he means by that?
Yeah, I think Obaseki has done well, because if you check the number of solidarity he has been receiving since this issues with Oshiomhole started, ranging from Goodluck Jonathan, governors, understand, so many people have been solidary and sympathizing with him, which shows he's doing well. And he seems to have his people, the Edo people, with him. Yes, they sing his praises, they are standing with him. Oshiomhole claimed at the time that he demystified godfatherism in Edo State by benching the likes of Tony and Nini, all those godfathers. The same thing he said is now what is happening to him. His godson, he's demystifying him using some influential party. It was because of his arrogance, his boastfulness, and all. That is why some forces that have been wanting to deal with him now align with his governor. If not, his governor can't fight him. Oshiomhole is a strong man. But now it seems the governor is winning because there are some unseen forces giving him backing.
Okay, so let's take this one from Osas Normal, and it says suspended noted to be reinstalled after Obaseki's re-election. They know what they are doing at APC something. That's what he's saying. So what do you think about what he's saying?
That they know what they are doing.
He said suspended noted to be restored after Obaseki's re-election. He's saying that Oshiomhole will be restored after.
It's not true. Oshiomhole is axed because of the Godfather. Because
well, let's not forget that this is just a suspension.
Yes, suspension. The way you cannot totally remove a party chairman, the best way to do it is through suspension. The person goes. Understand? It is honorable and a soft landing way of easing somebody out. If Oshiomhole remains there, the other caucus, somebody will not get his vision or his dream actualized. So Oshiomhole must be out of the way for the person to plant his candidate as national chairman.
You'll be saying, you'll be mentioning some things that Oshiomhole, that Oshiomhole just sometimes he just makes decision. So are you saying, how can we say that it's misusing his powers, his authority?
Exactly. National Working Committee have accused him severally of taking solo decision without constraint. When you are a leader of a people, you carry them along. That's why you see some politicians, they will say, let me go back to my constituents, which is either your state, your local government, consult your people. These are the people that planted you there. They can remove you. You consult them, but most of them accuse him of taking solo decision. Now what he does is take solo decision, autocratic kind of decision. So most of them are not happy with him. So
okay,
what happened to him?
Let me just suspend your thoughts there. I think we've really gone through a lot of things when it comes to this. So let's quickly review the budget. Like coronavirus, federal government may review 2020 budget. That's what the finance minister is saying. And this budget will be saying that it has been signed and they've looked at it, but they're saying that it might that they're going to review it. But now I read a comment this morning where someone said it's just one person, one index case that we've had in Nigeria. And we're already saying that this is affecting our economy and it's affecting a lot of things. So what's your thought?
In fact, when I saw that headline too, I was so amazed. Though sometimes I'll be amazed, but this government, I will not be totally amazed because they are funny in most of the decisions they take. So you should be not be surprised in some of the decisions. How can you say this 2020 budget has been signed into law? How do you review it because of this? There are other ways by which we can stop this outbreak of these things. Yes, I commend them. The federal government has been there. The Minister of Health are doing one or two things to curtail the spread of coronavirus in Nigeria. But to review budgets that have been signed because of this thing, I smell a rat.
So do you think that we're being too forward as a country in terms of putting down some certain amount of money already for a disease that has not even circulated the country yet? We just have a case of one Italian, and it's not something that is sporadic, considering the fact that yesterday Dangote gave out 200 million naira to support this coronavirus, and when it was Ebola, he gave out 1 billion naira too. So do you think that we're making it too, we're making it too much noise on this situation, on the coronavirus and everything?
As a professional presenter, you are diplomatic. That's making it is we are not organized as a country. That is the word. You can't go to US setting of this thing and tell me that after passing this thing into law, then you want to review the budget to accommodate. That means there are some certain caucus or some certain people who want to play funny on Nigeria, first one on Nigeria and all those things. Does it mean that without this thing you cannot, as a leader, you have to plan ahead?
But the finance minister said it's already affecting the oil sector. That now they produce a lot of barrel, but they hardly sell. That's what the finance minister said.
Before then, the economy has been struggling. The economy of Nigeria has been on a life support. Everybody knows, even the blind sees it. The economy has been struggling, mass unemployment, so many things. The border has been shut down and all those things. So they should not transfer everything to the coronavirus that just because of one cases we recorded and some suspected cases that was not.
Okay, last question. We've been talking about the government are saying that people should not panic and they should not, they shouldn't panic about this coronavirus. That it's just one index case. Although the government have said that they won't release the index case yet, and they won't mention, they won't say it's personal information out until, and they are sure that it's already recovering, that the man is already recovering and this. But now, this money that they are pumping into this coronavirus now, this now, is it like putting panic in the mind of the people that we are pumping this in case of this situation happens, or this happened, or that it has already happened? So it's putting panic in the heart of the people. So what's your
Even if they like, let them pump $15 billion, they are being reactive. Proactivity, this thing is not proactivity. You don't shut down the economy. Remember that Nigeria have engaged in litany of borrowing. Nigeria have been borrowing. Our debt profile since last 4 months, 5 months, our debt profile have been rising. We borrow almost every week. So this thing is not a matter of coronavirus. The economy has been struggling. Anybody that is just trying to put everything on corona, in fact, some people want to use this coronavirus to embezzle. That is just the word. Because this kind of panic they are creating everywhere, people are tense. So the people have stopped doing this. We don't even have much cases. So some people, some scrupulous elements, will use this opportunity to embezzle the country.
Precious, do you have any comment on that?
Okay, people are not talking about that one. They're still debating on the whole Oshiomhole thing.
Okay, let's go straight to Shekau's bounty, the bounty that is placed on Shekau. And you know that Shekau now is the leader of Boko Haram, and he has been the leader since 2009. And Boko Haram, they've really resulted in thousands of killings, and different multiple adoption, like the Chibok girls that were adopted and the Dapchi girls that were adopted, and the federal government.
Alhamdulillahi alladhi ja'ala al-jihada ibadah وجعله لعباده من أعظم الإبادة والصلاة والسلام على.
I think Shekau will not be so too hard for the Donald Trump's administration to fish out. If the American government under Obama then can fish out, what's the name of Osama bin Laden, then recently Donald Trump fished that Iranian general out, they will fish out Shekau. If they deem it as a serious business, they will fish him out and he will be rounded up. Understand? But the 7 million bounty, this thing, it looks fictional. But let's just hope. Well, I trust America, and I believe in America. They have sophisticated ammunitions, and they are go-getters.
So should Nigerians be happy that this insecurity is what we've been complaining about? We have been talking about the insecurity of the herdsmen and the Boko Haram and the SWAP group, and now this bounties. Should Nigerians really be happy? Are we showing their joy that very soon and conquer this thing?
Yes, I think it's a welcome development. Nigerians should be happy. In fact, they should give every support to the international community to make sure.
Alhamdulillahi alladhi ja'ala al-jihada ibadah وجعله لعباده من أعظم الإبادة والصلاة والسلام على من قال.
Peace is let these terrorists be fished out and permanently rounded up with the support of the international community, which America is one of them. So I'm so happy. It's a welcome development. The bounty is a good one.
So yesterday, the news broke out yesterday, and on Twitter, people were really, talking about the fact that, if you are Shekau's, brother or sister, they are willing to give out his number and everything. So, in this part of the country, we joke about literally almost everything. But then, most people were also likening it to, when you're watching like the American movies and they say, oh, there's a price bounty on a particular criminal, and they are sure that the US will give them the money. Like when it's Nigeria, they say, oh, this amount of money will be given to these people, that kind of thing. So Nigerians are even more interested in finding him, which means that it will be an easy one, like he said, for the the US committee to be able to catch him, obviously. So what do you think about the fact that people compare, the way Nigeria would say a criminal is being, they're looking for him and will give him money, and the way now that the US is saying that they want to catch Shekau, and they're saying we're going to give you a certain amount of money?
Nigeria loves it, not even like when it comes to bounty. Everybody is interested. The hardship and the economic mess now is affecting almost everybody. So you discover that this one will not even be only the middle class or the poor masses. Even the rich will be involved. Understand? So if you have such a person as a family member or this thing, don't be surprised a family member will volunteer his information and before you know it, will be rounded up. The person will be just behind the scene and collect his money. So this information about 7 million bounty is a very good one. It's very, very attractive. It's very catchy. But don't forget, when it comes to the matters of security, providing information, you also be interrogated. Yes. How did you know it? What's your relationship? And this thing. So if care is not taken, you everywhere. That's why some people.
I think we shouldn't say this to put this.
Exactly.
In the heart of the people that have this information. I think it's really good. Okay, thank you very much. You know, it's been lovely having you with us in the studio. The strong man, and you give out the strong and good responses when it comes to these. So it's really great, and we hope to still have you next time. Of course, I think that's a short thing. Right? Thank you so much, Mr. Ikechukwu Agada. And if you are just joining, we've been looking at the analysis of the papers this morning, and we've reviewed some things. But to get more of this and to go back to this, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more of these videos, and also to get more of our stories and all the stories. You can visit our website www.vanguardngl.com, and you can always subscribe to our YouTube channels, and always like and follow us on our social media platforms. And we have all the stories coming up after this, so don't go anywhere. But for now, I'm Damilola Ogushaki, and I've always been with my beautiful co-host, and for now, it's bye from us. So enjoy your day, and today is Throwback Thursday. So we have all the programs coming up.
Alhamdulillahi alladhi ja'ala al-jihada ibada wa ja'alahu li'ibadihi min a'zami al-ibada. والصلاة والسلام على من قال وجعل رزقي تحت ظل رمحي وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. نين بإذن الله تعالى shugaba na wannan jama'a mai yi wa wannan addinin musulunci aiki kamar yadda Allah ya so ya yarda, haka muke fata Allah ya bamu. Wato Imam Abu Muhammad Abubakar bin Muhammadin Shakawi, imamu jama'ati ahli sunna lidda'awati wal jihad. Wannan sako bi iznillahi ta'ala sako ne a ranar 18 ranar Alhamis